Hi guys! So this video is for the beginning band, and we're going to be going over the A line of number 50 or a Lee, which is your flip chord assignment. You either need to do the A line or the B line, and just do your best. I don't expect it to be perfect, but make sure you do that. Make sure you also do your attendance question, and make sure you are doing your practice log. Do all three of those things, and you'll get a good grade for the week. But let's take a look at the song. So, Orally is a duet, which means there is an A line and a B line, and both lines happen at the same exact time as each other, with either two different people or two different groups. And the way we know it's a duet is it says it's a duet. There's also an A, there's a B, and you see every bar line, each one of these up and down lines, is connecting the two lines of music. So that's how you know they're happening at the same time. But now there is something new in this song. And in our last video, we talked about a new note. Flutes, you have an E natural. Clarinets and trumpets, you have F sharp. And saxophones, you have C sharps. And there was a green box on the top of the page that said key signatures, which is why over here, we're highlighted in green, we have a new key signature. And we're going to take a look at that green box. So as you see over here on my right, I have put the green box from my teacher book, and it should show all the information that's in your guys' books. So if you play the flute, this is the key signature you see in the beginning of your song. You only see one flat, just B flat. Our E flat is missing because in this song, you're playing all E naturals. So it says all Bs should be played as B flat throughout. But that also means all E's are E natural, which is F, with that finger right there, E natural. If you play clarinet or trumpet, you see a sharp sign up on this top line, which is an F line, and that means all F's should be played as F sharp throughout. So clarinets, F sharp is that first finger, it's E without your thumb, and trumpets, F sharp is just your second finger. So every time you see one of those notes, that's how you play it. And then saxophones. You're used to seeing this key signature of one sharp, but you now have two sharps. You have the F sharp we're used to, and also a C sharp. So it says all F's and C's should be played as F sharp and C sharp throughout. So make sure you're checking that. Make sure you're checking all of your notes. And let's go back to the song. So now we're back at the song, and we see that our key signature matches whatever I was just showing you. And here's that box back for help. So flutes, you see one flat. Clarinets and trumpets, you see one sharp. Saxophones, you see two sharps. So every time you see that note, it's going to be different. So that third note is the first one that you see of that. So that is E natural for flutes. It is F sharp for clarinets and trumpets, and C sharp for saxophones, which is no fingers. So if I were just to play this first measure, you would hear this. So if you play the right note, it should sound. If you play your old note, the wrong note, it would sound like this. And I hope you hear the difference between that. The correct way sounds happy. The second way, the wrong way with your old note, doesn't sound so happy. So make sure it sounds happy and you have a nice happy sound. And then if you look at the second measure, we should know all of these notes already from our scale. And it has a curved line on top, and that is a slur connecting your three notes. So if we play it with the slur, you would have and remember, a slur means you're keeping your air going, but you change your fingers over it. You don't stop the air. You just change your fingers while you keep blowing. So those first two measures are going to sound like this. And again, make sure your third note is correct. Now we're going to look at the third measure, and we have a normal note, the second note this time, and the fourth note are that different note from number 49 of 2 ways to play it. So make sure again you play it correctly. And these 2 notes are slurred, but practice it without the slur first. So practice it normal by going. Just like that, those 4 notes. And after you got those notes in your fingers, then add the slur. And just play that over and over, making sure it's the right note. Again, you do not want it to sound like this. That's not right. You want this sound. E natural flutes, F sharp clarinets, F sharp trumpets, C sharp saxophones, no fingers, for every time you see that note. Then our next measure, 2 half notes that are slurred. So again, you just keep the air going and you just change your fingers over it. So now I'm going to start in the beginning and play all 4 measures. Either listen or pick up your instrument and try it after you've practiced it a little bit. Make sure those notes are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. And honestly, right now, I'm more concerned about that note than the slur. So make sure you get that note right and focus more on that than the slur. The slur will come later. That's something we can always add. But now if we keep going, we look at this measure. And again, that third note is the one you have to watch out for. And if you look at your music, or even just this music above me, you'll notice this measure looks the same as one of the other 4 measures we just played. Take a second, see if you can figure out which measure this one is the same as. Is it this one? Is it this one? Closer, we got quarter notes. That's not quite. This one? This one. So the 5th measure is the same as the first measure. And then if we look at the 6th measure, that's the same as the 2nd measure. So we've already practiced that a little bit, and hopefully we are getting it in our fingers. We're being careful of that 3rd note. And then if we look at the next measure, wait a second, that's the same as the 3rd measure. Cool, cool. And then our last measure is different. It's a circle, which we know is a whole note and gets 4 beats of sound. So if you've learned the first 4 measures, you can do the last 4 measures. It's the same, just the last one's different. So I'm going to play the entire line for you. If you have your instrument, play along with me. Watch out for that new note, the new note from 49. Make sure you're playing correctly. This is the whole first line of Orally. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how the A line of the song goes. And again, just watch out for that note, the third note in the first measure. Every time you see that same note, make sure you're playing it correctly the new way, not the old way. It's a different note. But go practice. If you have practiced the song already, go do your Flipgrid. The other video that's being posted today is the B part of the song. So look out for that, practice both parts, and then pick either one you want to do for your Flipgrid. And I hope this is helpful. Look out for the lesson schedule for next week. If you said yes to that, we'll be having some more Google Meet lessons. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.